Da 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 da.
Hello, and welcome to Totally Biased News. I'm Buzz Shindig.
And I'm Renee Lee.
Our top story is Senator Rob Cano was recently caught talking on his cell phone while in a theater.
And since this year is an election year, this could hurt him in the polls.
That's right, Renee. We now cut live to a PSA from Senator Cano.
Mr. Kavitibu, how do you feel about the accusations of you answering your phone in the theater?
Kavanaugh. Okay, look. People seem to think that just because I had to answer my phone in the theater, I'm a bad person. That is not the case.
Lying, just as every politician does. So is Senator Kavanaugh really lying? We now go to Pat Withers.
Mr. Caraway, you're a professor of psychology at MIT, correct?
That is absolutely correct.
So you spent many years studying the human psyche.
I have devoted my entire life to learning more about brains and personalities and just about everything that makes us tick.
So in your opinion, is Senator Canal lying?
In short, yes. In his PSA, you can clearly tell that he's nervous.
Go on.
If you look also at his hand, it has a tendency to move almost constantly, which is a very clear sign that he's lying through body language.
Interesting.
Also, in his public service announcement, he has difficulty swallowing when he says he is sorry for answering his phone in the theater. This is also a clear sign that he's lying.
So in your professional opinion, do you believe Senator Kavanaugh should be reelected?
In short, he should not be reelected. He's falsely saying that he's sorry for answering his phone in the theater. Next thing you know, he's going to be passing a bill that allows Hitler to be president.
Well, there you have it, folks. Soon-to-be ex-Senator Rob Kavanaugh is a lying politician who should not be re-elected. I am Pat Withers. Back to you, Renee.
Thanks, Pat. Now a word from our sponsor.
Are you tired of your life?
Yeah, it's so boring.
Then we have the toy for you.
Whoa, what is it?
What are you, stupid? It's a paintball gun!
Cool!
Shooting your friends with a real gun is illegal, but shooting them with a paintball gun is fun!
Yeah!
What are you waiting for? Go out and buy a paintball gun!
Do it now!
And we're back to Totally Biased News.
Senator Kavanaugh has not only revealed that he was in fact on his cell phone in that theater, but he was also talking with Congressman Daniel Graham, who was in a different theater.
Shame. So we were correct in firmly believing that Senator Kavanaugh was guilty. We were correct, as always.
And now we cut live to a public statement by Senator Graham.
I'll tell y'all once, and I'll tell y'all again. I spoke with Senator Kavanaugh for about 5 minutes.
You see, Congressman Graham talked on his cell phone during the most important 5 minutes of the movie. His arrogant behavior caused the entire audience to be confused for the rest of the film.
What a jerk.
So remember what a big jerk Senator Kavanaugh and Congressman Graham are on election day.
And now, back to sports with Jack Snyder.
Thank you, Buzz. Famous Badger Ball player Derek Thompson has been caught abusing a substance known as Salty Crunch.
Now, hold on there, Jack. What exactly is Badger Ball?
Badger Ball is essentially the same as football, but instead of a football, there is a live badger.
Interesting. Now, what is Salty Crunch?
A new substance that has destroyed many families and lives.
Yes, but what is it?
Why don't I just show you a clip from a public statement by Mr. Thompson?
Mr. Thompson! Mr. Thompson!
What?
Mr. Thompson, how do you feel about the accusations of you abusing Salty Crunch?
I don't know what Salty Crunch is, but I did eat a bowl of popcorn while I was watching the movie.
What? That's it?
So you're telling me it's just popcorn?
That's what they want us to think.
Ah. Oh, well, it appears that Derek Thompson is not a scumbag. He was just enjoying popcorn.
And it looks like it's time for another commercial break. We'll see you in a moment.
Do you have problems getting up in the morning?
Yeah.
When you wake up, do you feel useless, sluggish before you've had your morning coffee?
Yeah.
Then you need the drill sergeant alarm clock.
That sounds cool, but what is it?
Well, let me show you.
There. 5 more minutes.
It's time for you to get out of bed, you lazy scumbucket!
Ah! Where's the snooze button?
I don't have a snooze button. It's time for you to get up and be productive today, or so help me ah.
Well, that sure sounds like it works.
You bet your britches it works.
How much is it?
Just 2 easy payments of $99.99.
Effective and cheap. That's a dream come true.
Then you should call now at the number 555-0142.
The release of the new movie Mimic has stirred up some controversy.
That's right, Renee. We now cut to an interview live with a citizen, Lester Roach, who is offended about the release of the movie.
Thanks, Buzz. Now, Mr. Roach, what has you so offended?
We man-sized roaches are a peaceful race. We have fought for equality for over 20 years.
I see.
The representation of man-sized roaches in that movie is not only offensive, but wildly inaccurate.
But in the movie, it shows that the cockroaches are sentient.
The movie portrays the roaches as sentient. However, it also portrays them as evil beasts that need to be eradicated.
Well, thank you, Mr. Roach, for the interview.
Thank you, Pat, for the opportunity for the interview.
Thanks, Pat.
Today's debate is on the topic of legalization, the legalization of a substance known as Salty Crunch. Here to tell you about the so-called health benefits of popcorn, or its street name, Salty Crunch, is Professor James Ramone of Harvard University. Professor Ramone, are you there?
Hey, man. Now, Salty Crunch, otherwise known as popcorn to us in the medical field, has many health benefits. For example, Salty Crunch can help relieve stress, and has many other things that will help us in our research.
We will now host a live conversation between Professor Ramone and Alexander Tooley, who is strongly against the use of Salty Crunch. I'll let you two gentlemen have the spotlight.
Salty Crunch has destroyed thousands of homes worldwide and has increased the crime rates in New York City and Los Angeles.
It has led to the enlightenment of many people.
There are a multitude of facts against this substance. The British Medical Journal, MIT, and Oxford University. What are your sources?
My source? It's experience.
I can't argue with this man.
And welcome back to Totally Biased News.
And now the weather report with Sandy's storm. What's the situation, Sandy?
It's really cold, Buzz.
I bet, but is there a storm coming?
Yeah, there's a pretty big storm headed for the Chalice area. People are advised to take shelter. I know I will.
How much snow should people expect?
A heck of a lot of snow. People should dress warmly, unlike me.
Can you give anyone more advice?
Yeah, a cup of hot chocolate would do.
Thanks, Sandy.
So, stock up on Dunkin' brand instant noodles, put another log on the fire, and write off any plans for going outside this weekend.
On a lighter note, a lizard has been trained to play the keyboard.
We have a reenactment ready. Powerful stuff.
Indeed.
Today's cute story is... This just in. The CDC has ordered everyone to stay indoors. There was a Yonbee outbreak. Wait, what is a Yonbee?
Glad you asked, Buzz. We actually have a live interview with the professional Yonbee exterminator. We now go live to the interview with Pat Weathers.
Thanks, Renee. Now, sir, what is your name?
Alan Anderson.
Okay, Mr. Anderson, what exactly is a Yonbee?
A Yonbee is a normal person who cannot stop yawning.
Is this disease infectious?
Absolutely. The disease is airborne.
What can we do to stop the spreading of this disease?
Right now, we have quarantined the area, and we are dropping in a steady supply of coffee to eliminate the threat.
So, is the incident contained?
Yes, however, if anyone shows any signs of infection, be sure to send them to the hospital immediately.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson.
You're welcome, Pat.
In other news, the annual Chalice Crawdad Catch will be held this Thursday.
We now go live to Tucker Davis, who is on the scene.
Thanks, Renee. As you can see behind me, it is very cold. However, that will not affect the crawdad fishermen one bit.
So how long does this event usually last?
Around 2 or 3 days, depending on how much crawdad there are in the area.
Are there any dangers in crawdad fishing?
Absolutely. You have to be wary of piranha keats. There was this one time.
And I'm afraid that's all we have time for. Thank you, Tucker.
In other news, the product known as Cutler Dummy Grenades has been the center of some controversy.
We have arranged an interview with the CEO of Cutler Corporation, Jacob Cutler.
So, you recently cut the funding to Totally Biased News, correct?
I thought this was going to be an interview about the dummy grenade incident.
Just answer the question.
Yes, it is true. I cut the funding to Totally Biased News.
On to the next question. Your dummy grenade was used in a bank heist, and the caused explosion injured a small child.
That's not a question.
You claim that the grenade was tampered with. However, there are no signs that the grenade has been changed in any way.
Are you new to this interview thing? You haven't given me a single question.
Sir, do not get angry with me.
I am not getting angry.
Jacob Cutler of Cutler Corp takes out his anger on a news reporter. Scandalous. It has also been proven that you have cheated on your wife.
I don't have a wife!
Well, folks, Jacob Cutler, head of the infamous Cutler Corp, allows child slavery, cheats on his wife, and makes grenades to harm small children.
Where are you getting these facts?
Thank you for the interview, Mr. Cutler.
Knowing that Cutler Corp makes exploding grenades scares me.
I agree.
And now, financial news with Todd McKenzie.
This isn't Todd McKenzie. This is his intern, Steve. There's a guy in a suit here. He says he works for Duncan Brand.
It's Duncan Brand Enterprises. And I don't work for Duncan Brand Enterprises. I own Duncan Brand Enterprises.
So, what do you sell?
I sell and manufacture items like vacuums, radios, things like that.
So, can you tell us something about yourself?
My father was a banker for the Lehman Brothers. I was raised in an upper-class American home, and my mother was the CEO of an oil refinery company.
Hey, thanks, man. It was real nice of you to come down here. No? Okay. Back to you, Buzz and Renee.
Good job there, Steve.
Not bad.
We will now have a professional interview with Mr. Stockton.
I'm Todd McKenzie. Mr. Stockton, you're often criticized for your monopolistic methods. Why do you think this is?
Well, I honestly think the answer is quite simple. The losing competition is always the first crowd about unfairness. And I think all of these other companies just need to simply accept they would do the exact same thing if given the circumstances.
Interesting. One of your products, the Duncan Brand radio to be exact, exploded and killed 2 people in Texas. What do you have to say about that?
Yes, I did hear about that case. However, I did speak with the forensics team that worked on that case. And as it turns out, they put their Duncan Brand radio in their Duncan Brand microwave. And on the side of the Duncan Brand radio, it specifically says, do not put your Duncan Brand radio in your Duncan Brand microwave.
That sounds oddly specific.
This isn't my first rodeo, kid.
Now thank you, Mr. Stockton, for this interview.
Thank you, Todd.
Back to you, Buzz.
Good work, Pat.
It looks like it's time for another commercial break. See you soon.
Hi, I'm Vince with Cutler's Cutlery. We make the best knives that money can buy. That's not a knife. This is a knife.
We would like to take the time to thank our sponsor. Breaking news! And scientists have discovered a new flavor of muffins produced by Cutler Corp is in fact radioactive.
The amount of radioactive muffins sold has yet to be determined.
We now do a live interview with Sam Green, who was on the scene.
Thank you, Buzz. As you can see, I'm in front of Cutler Corp.
This is highly ridiculous. What are you?
Are there any health risks caused by eating these muffins?
Several people have already been affected by these muffins. This man right here now has uncuttable hair. The effects of these muffins vary from person to person.
Thank you, Sam.
We actually have one of the muffins here in the studio right now.
Isn't this dangerous?
If it is, it's Cutler Corp's fault.
I'd feel safer if it wasn't here. Can we get this out of here?
And we're back to Totally Biased News. Cutler Corp has denied making the muffins radioactive.
Just like what Cutler Corp always does. They lie about everything.
That's right, Buzz, so start your boycott of Cutler Corp today. Did I mention they support child slavery?
Welcome back.
Those muffins weren't too bad.
In other news, a new disease has been spotted in the Chalice area. We now go live to the CDC's statement about the disease.
We don't know very much about the disease, but we're going to call it the DERP. This disease contorts the facial muscles and eyeballs to unnatural angles.
I don't know about my viewers, but I always get scared when a new disease pops up.
We have pictures of people who have been affected by this new disease. Viewer discretion is advised.
And it looks like that's all we have time for, folks. Good evening and be safe.
Totally Biased News. You better believe it. Oh my god, I can't work with this man.
A heck of a lot of snow. Shoot.
So, what do you sell?
I sell items actually, like chairs.
It looks like that's all we have time for tonight, folks. Please, be safe and stay home. I always get scared when a new disease pops up.
I told you no more lying.
It has also been proven that you have cheated on your wife.
I don't have a chipmunk.
Whoa!
What is